Hello. It's my designated stream time, exactly 9 a.m., right on the dot. So I think last stream, around the end of it, I mentioned that I was probably gonna do Warriors All Stars today. Uh, yeah, I lied. So originally I was considering it, but I made quite a bit of progress on Warriors All Stars off stream, and because of that, I do think I have the leeway before the 15th to go ahead and just finish up the Castlevania games instead. The classic Vanias specifically. I'm not going into any of the Metroidvanias. But yeah. So we only have a couple left, and the next few would be Haunted Castle, which I'm putting off until a bit later, since it is officially released in the Dominus collection, so I kind of want to do that once I eventually get to those Metroidvanias. Be a bit of an odd shift, but something I do kind of want to do just because of the official collection. And then the Dracula X Chronicles, the PSP remake of Rondo of Blood. I'm still not sure whether I want to do that one or not. Probably not right now. Maybe eventually. Because the thing is, to my knowledge, that is just Rondo of Blood. It has a completely different art style. Visuals are very different. New voice acting. But I think the story is exactly the same. To my knowledge, the level design is exactly the same. I think Dracula has a new phase in the final boss, which does seem interesting, but to my understanding, that's the only change they made. They just made him a little bit harder by giving an extra phase. Aside from that, though, it's just a direct remake. And today, we are playing another remake, although this one is much less direct, which is why I'm fine with playing it despite that. So yeah. Today is Castlevania The Adventure ReBirth, which, if you remember when I streamed The Adventure, like, probably about 3 weeks ago at this point, I hated that game. That is still my least favorite Castlevania. But, to my knowledge, this is not, like, a direct remake. This is a full new game that just reuses the story and some, like, enemy types. But it is mostly an entirely new game to my knowledge. So I am still counting it as a separate one. I guess there are multiple difficulties, so that's cool. I'm just gonna keep everything at default. But yeah, I don't know a ton about this one. Should I read the story for this? I assume it's just the same as The Adventure on Game Boy, so... yeah, it seems to just be the same. But yeah, I don't know how long this one is. I've heard it's one of the longer games in the series, surprisingly, despite being originating from ooh, that is... I did not love the controls. The default controls, so the whip button is on the opposite of what I'm used to, but I can tolerate it. It's not so bad that it's impossible to deal with. Oh, I just realized, I hope that he doesn't lose his upgrades upon a single hit. If they just change that, I think this will be good. Which he does have a faster walking speed at least, so that's already something that's good, but... the animations are very fluid. Almost too fluid to a degree that's like, not bad at all, but feels very odd for Castlevania. Oh, and he does have mid-air control. And it's more in line with Richter from Rondo of Blood, and not Richter from Dracula X. so that's nice. Okay. He still does get his ranged attack. Nice. I'm glad of the consistency of the end area walls having a nice little extra bit of coins. Does seem like he does have a bit of an extra large hitbox though, similarly to Dracula X Richter. But that's probably intentional in this one, which in hindsight, it was probably intentional in Dracula X as well, just combined with all of the other very strange design choices in that game. It felt like it wasn't. Big meat. Well, I should probably realistically just have taken those out slowly. That I was greedy. I wanted to just run past. I am still doing pretty decent with health though, so it's not too bad. Oh, I did lose my whip upgrade. I guess that happened when I got hit before. Or maybe there was like a meter underneath my health, so maybe that's it? Maybe it's relegated to a meter in this game instead of being a health-based thing. Okay, not too bad of a boss. Pretty easy. It is the first one though, so not surprising. It looks like there's something here, but maybe not. I assume I will get extra life if I get enough points, just like the other Castlevanias. Okay, yeah, it seems to be a meter thing, but it goes down with time instead of uses or damage. Yeah, it's a bit easier to take those out that way instead of just running past. Surprised I got that in time. Expected it to be a miss. Okay, those birds seem to have a much more consistent movement pattern in this game compared to most Castlevanias. They always go, yeah, they always loop around instead of going in a semi-random pattern. So far, just on stage 1, it is one of the easier Castlevanias so far, but not in a bad way necessarily. And there do seem to be some extra secrets to the side here. which I looked up afterwards. I watched a playthrough of the adventure after I played it, just to see like what it was like for someone who actually knows what they're doing, and it seems that the adventure, the original one, did have like extra state, like extra, not stages, but extra like hidden areas in it. And I got none of them, so I guess those extra areas in this game are probably going to end up being similar to the extra areas in that game. Most likely similar placements and similar rewards, I would guess. Maybe not similar placements since the level design is so different, but it's an interesting boss for sure. Pretty easy, but not necessarily bad. Yeah, I guess if I just go slowly, then this boss can't really do much to hurt me. Pretty simple. Okay. First boss down. First major boss. Since the bat was a mid-boss. Oh, the song is very different immediately. I guess it just starts with the vampire killer riff. Did not expect that to fall, but interesting. Good to at least get it within a safe spot. What the fuck is the bird? Oh, there's a key? Are there multiple endings similarly to oh, they unlock these, okay. So I guess there are extra paths in all of these. That's what that door that I saw in the first stage that looked like there was something in it. I guess there was a key in that one as well. Did the candles in the first stage that had sub-weapons, were they green? 'Cause I don't remember that being the case. They are now, definitely, so it'd be odd if they weren't. I guess I can... Extra path? Oh. I'm guessing I need to fall. Okay. Yeah, I guess these stages have multiple paths, which is very interesting. It's not what I expected for sure. Did not want to grab that, but it's not the end of the world. I've barely even used sub-weapons so far anyways. key spotted. I like how the staircase goes directly into water, which goes down into a non-water area. And they give you this upgrade really often. Okay, you can dip into the water at least a little bit, and it doesn't hurt you. Good to know. Okay. Thing's not too difficult to deal with. I just need to time everything correctly. Oh, and it has very little health, okay. Yeah, that's definitely a mini boss, not a full boss. That's for sure. Had to cough really quickly. Shit, I wanted to hold on to the key. But I guess I can just cheese this entire area with the stopwatch since I have so many hearts. So it's not the most difficult anyways, so... Anything here? Nope. Really wish I had held on to that key. Anything up here? Any meat or anything? Nope. There's a second one of these. Oh, or not? I guess not. Seems like all of the enemies are definitely a lot more predictable in this game than other Castlevanias. Okay, yeah, I can get over here. Any secrets? Nope. Just an extra small heart from the angel statue. Okay, so he's effectively the Frankenstein of this. Okay. Probably gonna take my first death here. Yeah. Not a super hard boss, but it did take a moment to figure out what it did. Please give me my luck upgrades. At least one. Okay. Statue gave me one. Yeah, I don't need the full upgrade, but I feel like at least having the extended length. That's always a very helpful extra thing. I can kinda just brute force this guy if I go in with enough health. Well, kinda. Not entirely, but more than most other classic Vania bosses for sure. But definitely not to the same degree as like Castlevania 4. Two stages down. I wonder how many stages this game has. I assume it has more than the original Adventure, because I think Adventure had 4 stages, if I remember correctly. And even if this was originally a WiiWare game, I feel like that would be very low. Gotta be something down here. Or not. Maybe not, I suppose. Damn, I just realized this game does actually have stairs. Because the original, did not. Adventure ReBirth is the newest classic Vania game from Konami, right? Am I missing one? Sort of. So yes, unless you count the remake of Haunted Castle, which was originally an arcade game, the Dominus Collection has Haunted Castle, I think it's called, it may just be Haunted Castle Remaster or something, but yeah, that one exists. To my knowledge though, I think that one's a closer remake than this one is. I know it's fairly different from the original Haunted Castle, but I think it is still like the same at its core. This one is basically an entirely different game. But yeah, other than that one, this is the oldest one. And it's from fucking 2009. Fuck, mistimed it again. Ooh, am I gonna get a continue? Who knows, perhaps. Yeah, so far this game's been pretty easy. Enough so that I've kind of walked past several rooms, including this one. Yeah, so far this is a pretty good one. It's not like amazing, but I'd say it's like, overall I would say that this one is like probably a mid-level one. As of now, that could very well change, but it's relatively easy as far as Castlevanias go, but not quite in the same way as Castlevania 4 where it's like super easy to brute force a lot of stuff. More so just designed in a more forgiving way. But yeah, it's pretty good so far. Not my favorite in the entire series, but definitely not bad. Alright, I have the feeling I'm gonna have a bit of trouble with this area. Yeah. Not get through completely unscathed. Oh, fuck, that counted. I don't know why I didn't expect that too. Okay. Only one life remaining. I may actually get to continue. I guess the spike can still hit the enemies, which is interesting. A neat little extra detail. I think I have the timing on these a bit better than I did last time, so... But when there's multiple back-to-back, I'm not as good at it. I am surprised that did not hit. That was so close. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna get a continue since I literally only have 1 health left and I'm on my last life, but I can tolerate that. I'm fine with getting a continue. Oh boy, use my sub-weapons more. Been neglecting those quite a bit. Very dumb death, but first continue of the run. And I don't go back very far, surprisingly. Probably be a bit less reckless in this first area and actually like take out the enemies as they appear. Okay, yeah. Definitely figured out the timing on that a bit better. Okay, just had to hydrate really quickly. I don't know if those are insta-death, but I'd still rather not take my chances with them, if possible. Okay. Fully expected to get hit by that, but I guess not. Definitely a quite risky section. That was a fun section though. That's the type of stage obstacle I actually like, where it's absolutely doable. You just have to be very precise with your movement. A lot more fun in my personal opinion than something like the way Castlevania 4 handles its death traps. I'll go the upper path just to see what's up here. Guessing there was a path in the previous room that I could have went instead. Can I just walk under this? I wondered. Oh no, it sends it back at me? Okay. This one's an actual mini-boss and not just a normal enemy. Okay. Already caught up back to where we were. Okay, so it does actually do more than just shoot orbs at me. Definitely stronger than the normal enemy type of these. Still not too difficult though. It is definitely just a mini boss. I'm very surprised that actually hit. Okay, I need to get to know. This one, I cannot. But I can just walk under it. So I do have to actually go under this one. Okay, luckily it's not insta-death, but that would have been not the most fun had it been. Still does a lot of damage though. It's this little crevice in the floor. I think I'll go the upper path. Guessing this is the actual boss. Oh, it's like the swords from Rondo, and also Symphony of the Night. Yeah, I'm probably going to lose this attempt, but it's okay. Okay, I should probably duck under all of those, I would assume. They may not be able to hit me while ducking. Wait, I wonder if the bottom path even has anything. Okay, no. Not even an actual path, just an invisible wall. I like the stock sound effects from when it hits. Whenever anything hits, it's a very stock sounding effect. Yeah, I'm guessing that for this I can probably just duck under most of them. Maybe not all. Okay, yeah, there's one that can be... Yeah, okay. So most of those can be ducked under, even if not all of them. I'm almost out of time. Got it just barely in time. Under a minute left. I feel like every time that I let go of the controller for a minute to stretch or drink water or whatever, I always forget the button mapping is different for most Castlevanias, so it takes me a minute to actually... Is this song a remix of the Sharp X68000 like loading music? I think it is, which is a good song, but very interesting that they chose this for one of the songs to go with. Also, another thing is it seems like this game does not have most of the original adventure music. It seems to mostly just have remixes of other Castlevania games, which isn't bad, but it's very interesting. Yeah, this game is honestly, which I knew this going in, but this game is really barely even a remake. Calling it one is kind of not entirely accurate, I would say. It's such an odd song to choose as the theme of a stage in this game. Not a bad one. It does sound good. It's very interesting. Quite strange for sure. Fuck, I did not. I walked directly into that. Okay, down to my final life. Yeah, I guess I can just take those all out at once with that. Probably the smarter decision for sure. I really need to like actually focus on paying attention to those chandeliers. Was hoping I could walk past it, but nope, just barely couldn't. This time I need to not walk directly into these. I say as I immediately do. Ooh, okay. This is a rare room in the entire series where I actually do find the Medusa heads one of the hardest parts of it. I feel like in most games in this series, the Medusa heads aren't nearly as bad as people make them out to be, but this room, they are actually giving me a decent amount of trouble. Also, it's very odd that in this stage, the continue puts you back to the same spot that a normal life does. That wasn't the case for the last few stages, I don't think, at least. In this one it is. I keep walking into those. This staircase has to be the hardest section in the entire game so far. That one staircase right there. Okay, the difficulty is definitely picking up. Okay. How far do I get sent back? Okay, just right here. Would like to get my whip upgrade soon. Thank you very much. The fucking squish sound effect. I would imagine this game didn't have a super large budget since it was a WiiWare title. But the very frequent stock sound effects are really funny. AAA WiiWare. This probably is one of the higher budget WiiWare games, to be fair. I know most of those were pretty much very, very small scale indie games. The fucking beard room, by the way. Because I don't have my increased whip size, I can't really do anything about these, so trying to nudge forward as close as possible. Yeah, I'm not sure how exactly I need to deal with these with the smaller whip. Actually, no, I think I get what the key in here is for. Okay, yeah, I think I have an idea of what it's for. Yeah, okay. I saw that door and was immediately like, okay, they probably are hiding my whip upgrade behind that. It does seem like it is actually required for part of this room. Yeah. Well, okay. The skull head itself does not have a hitbox, but the fire can hit a bit further back than it seems. You don't get sent back the exact same spot with the continued Funn floss, but only if you die near the beginning. I don't know why I haven't been getting that these last few runs. That axe is genuinely quite helpful. There's definitely a lot more you have to keep up with in this stage compared to any of the prior stages so far. You do have to actually pay quite a lot of attention, which is nice. I do like the challenge being increased a decent amount so far. Yeah, the axe is gonna be a massive save in this room specifically. Still can't get over the very obvious stock sound effects throughout this. The squish sounds, the hit sound effects. Doesn't even sound bad, it's just very funny. I don't really need this now, but might as well get it. There may be another locked room ahead that I'll lose out on because of that, but it won't be the end of the world, I don't think. It's a pretty precise jump, surprisingly. One of the more precise ones in the game so far. Oh shit. Wait, what? Okay, I guess this is kind of a maze-like area. Fuck. I always miss those. How far back do I get sounds? Okay, back here. Not ideal, but not impossible to work with. And this time I'm prepared for this guy. Pretty much just the same as the Axe Knights in previous games, with a different design. Okay, I guess I need 2 keys for the bottom path. I'm not sure if that's required progression or... Okay, it probably is. I love redoing this segment over and over. Yeah, this isn't particularly my favorite room in the game so far. It's a very boring room to redo over and over, because it's kind of just, you know, hitting these a bunch. There's not much challenge to it, and it takes quite a while. Guess I'll go down the bottom path this time. Oh, I guess that's the actual required path. Okay, so I can take those out. I do like this fight's patterns. They're very interesting. Very shmup-like, I guess, in a way. Okay. Can't say I loved redoing this whole maze section beforehand, but at least the boss itself that seemed really good. Shmups aren't real. I simply do not believe in them. You don't believe in Ikaruga? Ikaruga's so good though. Two. This time I'm actually prepared for it. I can't. Okay, I believe in Ikaruga, but if I made an exception for Ikaruga, I'd look like a 2010s Nintendo YouTuber who hates JRPGs talking about Persona. That's such an ultra specific example, but honestly, I get it. I see it. Oh my fucking god. I hate this room. It's so fucking annoying. It's not even a difficult room, that's the problem with it. It's just really tedious. And I get impatient when I do it 500 times. Yeah, so far, unfortunately, this is definitely my least favorite stage, and it's entirely because of that maze section. I'm pretty bad at maze-like sections in games in general, but it's especially bad when half the rooms involved are just really fucking boring to play through. Cause that skull room takes like a full minute or two to get past, and because of that, it makes me more impatient if I make mistakes like that previous one, but it's just not fun to go through it all. It's very dull. I will be very excited once I am done with this stage. Like this whole section, this is fine. I don't really have any problems with this section. It's pretty alright. I do like the pattern of the skeleton enemies and stuff, but that one specific section is just really fucking tedious in the least fun way possible. Again, anytime I take my hand off of the controller for half a second, I forget which button is what. It's so different than any other classic Mania for whatever reason. It's the opposite button. Fuck. Okay. You're in the MMO abyss again? Hell yeah. Fucking Part of me almost wants to just get a continue already, so I can restart that second section with as many lives as possible, because I do not want to redo the maze section more than once. I want to at least get to the boss with as many lives as possible. Because while it's fun, the section before it is so fucking boring. Kinda sucks, unfortunately. Those will always get me. Just cannot figure them out for whatever reason. Fuck, I just realized I forgot to get the axe again. This section is so much more annoying without it. Are you still grinding Eureka, by the way, Ellie? I know you said you were still in the MMO abyss, but I wonder if you're specifically doing that. Eureka is definitely a grind for sure. I need to get back to 14 someday. I like that game quite a bit, but it is unfortunately quite time consuming thanks to it being an MMO. Okay, most boring in the room, game in the room time. Boring room in the game time, I mean. I think I said the opposite. Really don't even need to grab this, but kind of just habit. Yeah, that's a lower one. Okay, what's the actual path for this? Again, I'm gonna have to redo the... Fuck it, I'll go back here. Out of Eureka, but now I'm busy solo grinding free company XP before the 23rd so I can build on a house. Sorry, it's stretching really quickly. The house situation in 14, I know they improved it quite a lot. But it used to be a fucking nightmare. I don't have a house anymore because I went a while without logging in, and if you go, I believe it's 3 months without logging in, you will lose your house. But I did have a house myself, up until about a year ago. Fucking this shit. I love that I'm gonna have to redo this whole thing again. I'm on Dynamis, so it's basically free to get a house at the moment, really. I always played on, I believe Primal is my data center. Play on Ultra specifically is my homeworld, so I believe Primal is the data center, if I remember correctly. I hate this section so much. Next time I reach the boss, I may just make a save state just so that I don't have to do this again, because I really hate this segment. I'm terrible at mazes, and having to redo this over and over is such a pain in the ass. Like, I'm completely lost right now. I used to be on Aether, but everyone was mean, so I left. And oh my god, I hate this section. Fuck it, I'm just letting myself die. Still letting myself die so I can get back to the starting point with all the doors closed. I really do not like this section of the stage. And the last thing I did in 14, which it's been about a year since I last consistently played, but the last thing I really did was, this just goes back here of course, so I have to redo this room again. The last thing I really did was leveling up my crafters, because I got them pretty close to, I believe they were around level 70, all of them were. I got really into the crafting grind. And I was trying to make every recipe as well, just for funsies. I don't think there's anything you get for making every recipe, but a fun little extra thing to do. There's an achievement, but there's no reward. I do like achievements, but they are definitely very arbitrary, and oh my fucking god, I hate this room. I think this is my least favorite room in Castlevania period so far, to be honest. It's not even difficult, it's just fucking boring. It takes like a full minute and a half to get through. Yeah, once I reach the boss, genuinely, what the fuck is this room? It's just a bunch of skeleton heads, like... This whole section I'm not a big fan of just because I'm bad at mazes, but like, that particular room is the main problem with it. If this room weren't part of this section, I wouldn't have an issue with it, but like, it's so fucking boring to go through. It's just a bunch of skeleton heads. There's not even any actual challenge. They're not hard to avoid. I think I've been on this for like 30 minutes, by the way. Okay, finally, I have almost no health. I'm still creating save state though. Even with almost no health, I would rather do this boss without getting hit than redo that entire section. The kind of room that would always sit up. What were they thinking? For sure, exactly. Exactly, yeah. What were they thinking? Okay. Okay, that's definitely the hardest attack to deal with in my opinion. But I do really just have to go under it. Okay. I'll do the maze one more time. Just so I can try going in with as much health as possible. Okay, and already that's failing, so never mind. I'm just gonna say fuck it. I can do it without taking damage, I think. It's better than redoing the entire maze section for sure. Okay, already dead. Area really should not be that hard. There's like 4 rooms. I'm just so bad at navigation in general that it's taking me forever to just get through the maze alone. Not even the boss itself. You know what, actually, I know a better cheating save point. Probably after I clear out this room. You know what, if I die again, I'll just create a save point. Or actually no, I guess if I die 2 more times, because I now have an extra life. But if I get another continue, I'll create a save point after clearing out this room. That way I just never have to do it again. Because it's so fucking boring to repeat this over and over. Okay, I guess I just go down there. So it is fairly simple to go through, luckily, but definitely still very boring. Very interesting that there's voice acting for this boss. Not bad, but it is surprising for such a low budget Classicvania. Okay, that's not even the end of the stage, that's just the mini boss. I guess I will have to redo that if I die again, but not the end of the world. I'll see where the continue puts me past this point. Maybe I won't even get a continue for the rest of the stage, that'd be nice, but if it puts me before the maze, then next time I will create a save point after the boss, just so I'd never have to do that maze again. It is a very bad room in my opinion. Can't say I'm a big fan. Why is this an actual physical object? I feel like there's something with it, but maybe not. Before we continue, I am going to hydrate really quickly. Okay, hydration successful. Now time to get into the rest of the stage. Surprised I hit both there. The backwards whip, the slight extra hitbox for it is still quite strange. The classic bridge. Oh, so these can be broken, or at least some of them can be. Can I go down the staircase? Maybe it's one that it won't let me go down. Maybe this is just a different path that I could have come out from. Last time though, in a pretty good position for it as well. A fairly simple boss it seems so far. Yeah, just need to have to worry about this stuff. That's really it. Not super easy, but okay. Sometimes it seems to just knock me off at seemingly random. I don't know if it is random or if it's just a specific point that it knocks me off. A bit hard to tell. Please give me my whip upgrade. Thank you. Okay. I think I have a pretty good handle on this guy now. Yeah, not too difficult of a boss, luckily. I just have to make sure to time those correctly. My jumps toward the central platform. Two, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I can get off 5 hits per go at it. Oh shit, I just realized my timer is getting very close to being out. The timer does seem to be an actual concern in this game, so that's cool. I do have to actually play somewhat quickly. Whereas with most Castlevanias, I feel like the timer is kind of just there. Doesn't add too much. Okay, going by that icon, I assume this stage's boss is going to be Death, which makes me think it's most likely going to end up being the penultimate stage. Usually Death is. Will this thing get up? I guess not. Just stays down once it's taken out in the first half. Literally never even considered the timer in Castlevania. In Castlevania 1, if you're very slow at it, it can sometimes be a concern. But in most of the rest of the series, it's kind of just a thing. Like, it's never completely worthless. Like, it does keep you on your toes sometimes if you're like a super slow and cautious player, but I don't know, it just kind of isn't too necessary in most cases, I feel. I knew one of them was gonna fall. Just a matter of which one. Here, nope. There being so much space down there and like a slight different texture in the wall at one part near the bottom kind of makes you think there's a secret here, but that could also just be the texture looping on itself. That one appeared completely out of nowhere. I'm not as patient as a mosquito, so yeah, never considered it all. I generally play fairly fast as well, so it's never been too much of a concern. But this game, it does actually exist, and has some relevance. You know, I assume if I hadn't knocked that clock down, I probably could have gotten a bit of a shortcut up there. Yeah. There are some extra stuff over to the left, but not too necessary, I feel. This set of enemies right here is definitely one of the meanest in the game so far. And you get sent back quite a bit if you die right there. One, two. Okay, I have to do it mid-jump, but it is still a skip. You just have to time it a bit more than expected. That's such a dickish placement. They just immediately fall on top of you. Okay, at this point I might as well just go continue, because it sends me back here either way. Yeah, this game is not quite as generous with its checkpoints as most other Castlevanias, which is surprising. The game overall isn't too bad. Fairly easy in most areas, but specifically when it comes to the checkpoints it gives you, they are quite spread out. Fuck. Okay, back to where I was. Okay, that room is down. Clock tower time. Wonder how bad I'll be in this game compared to the rest of the series. There's gotta be something up there. Wow, just an axe, and it got rid of my key. What the fuck? So far, not actually too bad. I can't get those without the key. Stopwatch is probably good to have in this segment. I kind of want to deal with these things before they can become an issue. So I think those things disable your whip, if I remember correctly. I'm just gonna drop down here. No secret over there this time around. Okay, the stopwatch is gonna be pretty useless against the boss, I assume, but... I can kind of just brute force this guy. Not my favorite way to deal with the boss, but it works. This pattern does seem pretty fun though. You just have to duck and then when there's electricity on the floor, jump over it. Time your hits to put you in a good position for that, I assume, is the intended method. You know what, I probably didn't even need to use the stopwatch there. I could probably just crouch low enough and hit it without taking any risks. Anything up here? Nope. Once again, I'm forgetting basic controls. My hand off of it for 1 second. Just barely got clipped by that one. Okay, luckily I just get sent down here. Not too far back. Two, three. Okay. Only two, not even a third necessary. Of course I dodged that one, and again. You know what, fuck it. Please don't make this another maze. Okay, I'm guessing it's not. Well, maybe it is. Who knows? I'm guessing these are going to be up. Also, I thought those were platforms I could stand on, but I guess not. Oh, fuck. Okay, down to my last life. And I don't have my whip upgrades. That's cool. 2, 3, 4. This is such a pain in the ass to do without any upgrades. I would like my whip upgrade soon, thank you very much. Okay, finally. Took forever. Oh, fuck. Two, three. Okay, I wonder... I don't think I can climb on the rope in this game, so, I guess Leap of Faith time. Okay, that... I was so surprised by the fact that that was actually a platform. I didn't expect the enemy. Oh my god, I go back all the way here. Okay, yeah, I'm creating a save state after Frankenstein this attempt, because redoing this much of this very long stage is a bit obnoxious. This is not a very short stage by any means. Okay, gotta bait that skeleton out over here. Why is this the only time to never come directly toward me? Oh, you can just have those fall. Okay. I should probably just run past all of this to get through it as quickly as possible. Oh yeah, I'll get the stopwatch for this segment. More specifically, the upcoming segments. I don't really want to deal with the Medusa heads while trying to get through this, so... Stopwatch usage it is. Okay, this time I won't actually be able to brute force this guy. Yeah, because that does not work on him. Okay, yeah. Gotta take this very slowly if I want to actually get through without taking too much damage. You still hit him quite a bit before going to go around though. He's got a very simple pattern, luckily. Yeah, not a bad boss though. A pretty easy one, but not in a bad way. This game has pretty good, well-designed bosses for the most part. Even if the stages aren't always my favorites. Luckily, doing this so many times has made me kind of memorize most of the stage layouts, which is good. I'll have some free points. Okay, come over here. I want to take you out before we get on the real ride. Okay. And for this quite annoyingly slow segment. Wait, oh fuck, I forgot those had spikes at the bottom. It's completely ignoring them up until now. I have to do this now without even having a sub-weapon or upgrade whip. That's gonna be fun. 1, 2, 3, 4. I did it before without even taking damage, I don't think, without the upgrade whip, so it's not impossible. It is definitely quite annoying. Yeah, I like having my whip upgrades, considering how how little damage and range you have without them. Okay, I got it. That's all I need. I feel like the eye enemies are possibly the easiest incarnation of them in the series. Like, I feel like in most other games they're actually a problem, but not here. Those small, like, spirit enemies though, those have got to be one of the worst in the game though. They appear at seemingly completely random, and they are very difficult to even see, let alone hit. And I feel like they very frequently spawn at the worst places possible. Like right here. Okay. Have to maneuver around that one. Okay, now. Is the spirit going to spawn around here? Nope. Luckily not. Okay, this time I actually know that this is an actual platform. I'm gonna be honest, that little thing down there does not look like it's part of the actual foreground. It looks like a background element. Not conveyed the best. I love how you can just make those fall off of platforms very easily. Okay, 3 minutes to get to the boss and kill it. Hopefully I can make it in time. Shouldn't be too much of a problem though. Hopefully. A lot going on here. Okay. I wanted to make sure that went to the right side and not the left. Yeah, this stage is very long. Okay, at the boss now. This is probably gonna be one of the harder ones since this is death, but... yeah, he definitely isn't a pushover, that's for sure. Okay, this is a fun boss. I like this one so far. I am going to create a save state here again because I am not redoing this entire stage yet again. It is way too long for that, but it is definitely a fun fight though. I do like it so far. The few moments I got to try of it. But yeah, this stage is way too long before it. Doing this on actual hardware with these save points is not the most appealing. I feel like the checkpoint system needs to be a little bit more generous. One of the surprisingly harsher things about this game. Okay, I ran directly into that one. Yeah, I'm guessing that's gonna be a sweep. Oh, almost. Interesting how he does actually. Oh fuck! I had one hit left. Okay. It is interesting how he does get an entire like second phase though. The only boss so far that's done that. I guess it is fitting for Death to be the one to get it though. Oh shit. Did not expect this to go that far out. I'm having a way harder time this time around. I'm not sure why exactly. Okay, second phase time. There is really a lot going on in this fight. It's a really well done one. It's difficult, but all of its attacks are still telegraphed very well. Yeah, I'm glad I actually get to learn it by doing this. Cheating maybe, but again, this game's checkpoint system is way harsher than basically any other Castlevania. And it's a very odd choice, considering how relatively easy this game is, all things considered. It's not like a brainless game, but it is definitely easier than most others in the series, I feel. I can just, yeah, I'm just gonna axe him to death. I will say, the knockback that all of the bosses take in this game does make it to where you can kind of just sub-weapon spam them during the latter part of them once their health is down enough. Not to say that that's not the case for any other Classicvania bosses. It's not an exclusive thing for this game, but it is surprisingly common. This does look like the Dracula staircase, but there's no way that this is just the Dracula fight. There's gotta be an actual stage attached. Okay, maybe it is just the Dracula fight. Maybe it literally is just that, nothing else. Which would be interesting, I suppose. Okay, yeah. I guess it is just the Dracula fight. Very surprising. I expected a full-on stage, but won't complain too much. The last stage was definitely long enough to make it a final challenge. Knowing that I probably wouldn't have save stated, I would have just went through it entirely, but I didn't want this to go on forever. I didn't expect there to be no stage afterwards. Oh, I can just knock these. Okay. Knowing that definitely makes this much more doable. I gotta figure out the timing again. Okay, I guess I should probably thin out. Yeah, that seems to be the most consistent way of dealing damage to him. Standing just far enough back to not get hit, and then sending out across. Kind of funny that this fight I'm relying entirely on the cross, whereas most other Dracula fights in the series, I don't even use the sub-weapons. I just completely avoid them. Fucking tiger sound effect. Okay. Yeah, phase 1, I think I mostly just need to use the cross for its head and then crouch whip. Second phase though seems to not be too bad. And it just seems to be a typical Dracula phase 2 fight. Do not want to pick that up. Or that. Let's see, can I get multiple? Nope. This is all the hearts I have to work with, I suppose.
As ever, the ally of worthless humans.
I didn't even notice that he had voice acting the first time. Yeah, if he spawns on top of me like that, then I think I'm gonna not take a risk and instead try to just avoid damage. But I do want as much health going into phase 2 as possible. But I can get 3 hits off if I time things correctly. Ooh, that was a waste. Okay, I can still get a hit off on his head with just the whip, but I have to be very quick about it. Yeah, his hitbox for his head is active earlier than I expected, so... Okay, and then he does that. Yeah, it seems to do that every 3 jumps. That's a big jump, then the fireballs. Yeah. Quite an easy phase, all things considered. I wonder if he will have a second half to the fight. But overall, this is a pretty easy Dracula fight if this is it. Okay. Is that the end? Okay, no, there's one more. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was a very easy first set of phases, so it is cool that there is an extra one. I assume it'll probably be a lot harder. Definitely got more going on, that's for sure. But yeah, it's definitely a little bit harder, for sure. Yeah, it has a lot of health as well. Yeah, just... Yeah, that one definitely has a lot more going on. It is still very well telegraphed, so it's not, like, too bad to deal with, but... That boss definitely does have much more going on than phase 1 or 2, so... That's nice. One of the more involved Dracula phases. Yeah, both of the first two phases are pretty simple. I think I can get through them, probably not without taking any damage the entirety of it, but at the very least without too much problem. Okay, yeah, definitely not no damage because I already took one, but yeah. Yeah, you do have to be pretty quick in order to get that first hit out, but it's not too hard. Just as long as he doesn't spawn on top of you. As with all Dracula fights, it's a pretty slow and steady one. I'm surprised I did not get hit by that one. Very much expected to. One more hit. Okay, yeah. Phase 1 is down. It's very interesting how instead of making it the usual Dracula Phase 2 design, instead it's more bat-like. An interesting change of pace. Instead of being the cookie monster, this bat-like thing. But like most of them, it's kind of just jumping around. Just gotta be quite patient, and that's really it. It's nothing too bad. I'm very surprised I did not get hit there. Yeah, phase 1 and 2 are pretty simple. This one's definitely a bit more, definitely has a bit more to it, but still think it shouldn't be too hard. Yeah, first part is pretty easy. Okay, just I didn't expect the platform puller at that exact point. I just use that to... Yeah, I think I can... Wait, can I? Is it even taking damage from the crosses? I don't know if it is. It may not be. Yeah, I don't know if it just has a ton of health, if it doesn't take damage from the crosses or what, but... Oh, fuck. Okay, yeah, I think it may only take damage from the whip, which is interesting if so. That, or it just has a ridiculous amount of health, which I could honestly see either being the case. Considering that it is the true final boss. You know what? I never checked up there. Okay, nothing. No secrets.
As ever, the ally of worthless humans.
I'm so surprised I didn't get hit there. Really feel like I should have. Okay, I still got one hit off at least. Okay, got a bit too greedy that time around. Okay, phase 1 down. Phase 2 is even easier with the actually using the sub weapons. Not surprised I took damage there. I am surprised I didn't take damage that time though. In fact, I probably should have. Okay. Oh shit. Okay, phase 2 down. Back to the real fight. That first part is really funny because of the fact that it kind of just doesn't matter at all. It doesn't entirely not matter, but it pretty much doesn't. Pretty surprised I didn't take damage there. Made up for it. And this phase definitely is not easy, and it has kind of way too much health, to be honest. I think that's my only real problem with it. It has a lot of health. Kind of to a ridiculous degree. Yeah, none of its parents are too hard to deal with. It just has such an insane amount of health that taking it out kinda takes fucking forever. You definitely can't brute force it, so that's good at least, but yeah, it's a very slow fight. You know what, actually, this may be better for phase 2.
As ever, the ally of worthless humans.
You know, I'm gonna drink water really quickly actually before this. Okay, now time for the Dracula fight. Yeah, I don't get that much time. Yeah, I shouldn't have gotten greedy there. I want to go into phase 3 with as much health as possible. shouldn't have gotten greedy there anyway either, but I lived at least. Pretty easy phase 1 as long as you don't get too greedy. Phase 2 is honestly pretty easy as well, although most phase 2s aren't too bad for Dracula, but it's just a matter of not getting greedy. Okay, yeah. Phase 2 down. I think I can pretty consistently get through both phase 1 and 2 without taking too much damage, even if I do still get a few hits. Oh shit, starting with a different phase this time. I thought it always did the fireballs, but I guess not. Okay, so it does take damage from the sub-weapons, it's just that it just has so much health that it's barely noticeable. But that's kind of just the anything that deals damage to it. Okay. Oh shit. Oh shit, I did not realize that I was close enough for that to hit me. Oh shit, I did not mean to turn around there. So close to being done with it. Please die soon. This thing has too much health. Oh fuck! Still literally like 1 or 2 hits away. I can't even entirely tell because of how much health it has. Well, I at least do know that I can avoid pretty much all of its attacks without too much issue. It's just a matter of consistently doing it. I want to go in to phase 3 with as much health as possible, so I'm going to try to not be greedy in this first portion. I say as I immediately get greedy, and I do not. That should not have worked. I should not have been able to hit those, but alright. Won't complain, I get to avoid a bit of extra damage. Yeah, if he spawns on top of me, then I'm generally going to... I'm generally going to avoid it. I probably should if he goes too far away as well. Okay, yeah, please stop spawning on top of me. That would be very nice if you could do that. Again, the backwards whip is coming in handy more than I expected, even if I don't particularly love it being a thing to begin with. Okay. Shit. Already taking some damage in phase 2. Not great. That was honestly a bit too greedy. Probably shouldn't have went for that. Okay. Going into phase 3 with a decent amount of health. Not all of it, but... Two, three, four, five. Okay. Yeah, it's these this time around. I'm gonna try taking it relatively slowly this time. Okay, these always get me. I don't know why these those orbs, the kind of, not eyeballs, but, okay, yeah, I've lost this attempt. Yeah, it's got too much fucking health. Like, this fight goes on for too long. The patterns it has are really good. Like, this is a really good fight in terms of its patterns. It has way too much health, though. Like, it should have half the health it has, because it's just kind of an endurance run, as is. And I can't say I'm a huge fan of endurance fights in Castlevania. I prefer mine to be short and difficult, not 5 hours. But at least the first 2 phases are pretty easy.
As ever, the ally of worthless humans.
Bum, 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 bum. Okay, please don't spawn on top of me. And he spawned too far away. Yeah, this first phase is definitely pretty easy Dracula fight. Even the second phase is very easy. It's just a matter of where the like the arrows land, because those seem to be somewhat random. They're probably based on your positioning, but I can't entirely tell. But phase 2 mostly comes down to where those land. The rest of the fight is pretty simple for both phases. That was way too close. Okay. Okay, phase 1 complete. Again, it's all a matter of where the arrows decide to land. That's kind of the only concern for this first half of the fight. Oh shit. I think it's the only time I've ever been hit by it jumping up. That should have hit me. I really feel like that should have hit me. I was way too risky there. 5. There's a very safe spot right here, so what's the first thing he's gonna do? Okay, bring out those right away. It's gonna be the orbs. Okay, it's the orbs. I'm not sure if they have like a different sigil for the orbs determining those. Yeah, I think it may be the sigil type that holographs which one it is. It's very hard to notice. Okay, I think this is, nope, the eyeballs. They're not eyeballs, but whatever they are. Okay, that's fireballs. Oh, fuck. So bad at consistently getting these. Yeah, I think I just need to focus on surviving for most of the fight, and then when I get a chance, then yeah, this thing has too much health. That's my entire issue with this fight, is it's just, it goes on too long. If it was even a quarter of the length, or even like 25% less, I mean, I think it would be fine. It's just too fucking long though. Like, it's got too much going on to be such a long fight. Because this is a ridiculous endurance run. It takes like 50 hits to go down. Because I do genuinely really like the patterns of the fight, but it's just, it goes on so fucking long. And that's my only real problem with it. I may, if I do a damageless run of both of the first two phases, I may create a save point after them, just so that I don't have to redo them. Only if I get a damageless run of both phases though, because at that point it's pretty clear that I've mastered both phases. I don't really need to, I don't feel the need to redo them 500 times, considering how much of an endurance test the final phase already is. But again, I'm only doing that if I can do the first two phases without taking any damage. Okay, phase 1 down. Okay, so far so good. Okay, it seems like I may actually be on the damageless run of phase 1 and 2 this go around. Possibly. Yeah, okay. In that case, I'm creating a save state here. I've done those first two phases enough. I'm pretty confident I can do them without any issues. It's literally just phase 3, and even then, it's mostly just the fact that it has so much health. The actual patterns themselves, while difficult to avoid, aren't quite impossible to deal with. They're just very, very long. Trying to crouch there. Okay. Need to. Oh shit. Definitely gotten significantly better at watching for which phase is coming up next, so that's good. It's got too much health, like, come on. I've been at this fight for fucking several minutes already, it feels like. Like, I get that it's the final phase of the final boss, but this is not the case in any other Castlevania. It's kind of ridiculous. Like, I barely haven't passed the halfway point. This much health is just too fucking much. It's kind of ridiculous. Okay, yeah. Yeah, no, I'm not redoing the first two phases 500 times once I've done it. Once I've done both of them without taking damage, and this third phase is an endurance test all on its own, like, it's too much. If it were shorter, I would be fine with redoing the first two phases over and over, but at this point, fucking god no. If it were 25% shorter, I'd be fine with it, but it's too long. This is too much of a fight. Okay, that's the eyeballs. These are the fire. Yeah, that's also eyeballs. Oh, shit. Eyeballs again. Soon, yeah, the orbs. God, really? Fuck. God damn it. See, now I'm getting reckless because this fight goes on too long. I just want it done. Fuck. Oh my god, those things have a weird as fuck hitbox. Oh my god. Okay. Attempt number 30. I didn't even look at how low the timer went after that, but I guarantee that it was probably very, very low. It was probably around the 30-second mark, I would guess. Again, this fight is pretty fun in terms of just the patterns, but it's too long. If it were even a 25% shorter, I'd love this fight. It would possibly even be my favorite Dracula fight in the series, because it is a genuinely great fight. Just fucking why did they give it this much health? Because I'm just sitting here, spamming the whip over and over, and that's all this fight is. Like, once you've learned its patterns relatively well, you just sit here trying to be consistent. And yeah, getting consistent at it is a challenge of its own, but I think most Castlevania bosses have a consistency challenge without being an hour long. Of course. Oh, fucking goddamn. Not a terrible fight. Goes on too long though, and having to redo the first two phases after it is a bit much. Two, 3, 4, 5. Okay, this is the water droplets. 5 bombs. Okay, fire now. Electricity. Okay. Yeah, I can even get through a decent portion of this fight without even taking damage. But as soon as it starts layering things on top of each other, it's a bit much. And those things have a weird as fuck hitbox. They are way smaller than they look. Okay. That's... Of course, that brought me up as soon as that was going off. Hopefully this will be the winning attempt. At least the closest I've gotten so far, aside from that one attempt where I only had 1 HP left. But aside from that one, this is the closest I've gotten. But fucking really, that counted as a hit. It takes like, how many does it take to bring it down by 1 point? Is it 7 hits? I think it's 7 hits per meter, which is ridiculous considering how infrequent attacks can be in Castlevania. Oh my god, it's more than 7. Why? Why is it taking so much damage? This is ridiculous. Okay, fucking, if you go on that top platform, it's next to impossible to even hit it. Please die soon. I'm begging you. Fucking goddamn, that's too long. Okay. Fun fight if it did not have that much health. That goes on too long. Also, the timer is down to 9 seconds. That was a 5-minute long fight. Including the first 2 phases, nearly 7 minutes. That's too much. Fun fight. Goes on too long though. Okay, now that it's done, Definitely better than the original adventure, that's not even close, but also, that's such a low bar that it doesn't even really matter. But I would say I'd probably put this around the middle of the list so far. Let me look at. I have a list of the current order of my opinion of the Castlevania games. I would say it's probably. Do I like it more than Belmont's Revenge? I don't know. Belmont's Revenge, despite being a Game Boy game, was surprisingly pretty good. I don't know if I like it more or less. But I'd say it's around there. Probably either right above or right below Belmont's Revenge. So, think about it a bit more after this, but it's pretty good. I think most of the level design is kind of forgettable. I can't really remember, even though I just finished the game, I can't really remember any significant segments of level design, aside from the maze. The maze and the room with like the skeleton heads, but that's because that kinda sucked. That set of rooms was pretty bad. So that was memorable for the wrong reasons. Aside from that though, it's a bit of a forgettable one. It is alright though. It's not a bad game for sure, it's just not perfect. Boss fights were pretty good. One of my favorite death fights in the series. Other than death, the bosses before were kinda, they were alright. And Dracula, Phase 3, if it had less health, would easily be my favorite Dracula fight in the series. Like, not even close. It would not even be a question. Better style? But, I wonder what that is. Yeah, the Dracula fight is really good. Classic? Oh my. I'm gonna boot it up for just a second, back into the game, to see what the hell Classic is. Because if that is playing with the reduced movement, that'll be ridiculous. Am I slow as fuck? No, not slow as fuck. I'm going to. Do I lose my whip upgrades though upon taking damage? Is that the case? No, I don't lose whip upgrades, so. Oh, I guess okay, I can't control my jump at all. Is that the only change? That you can't control your jump? I think that may actually be the only change, and if so, pretty underwhelming extra mode. I'm gonna be honest, like, I don't think this would be that much harder than playing normally. The control jump isn't as useful as in other Castlevanias in this game, I feel. Changing direction and being able to hit the enemy from the other side, that's kind of useful. But even that's not, like, impossible to live without, so this is kind of a bit of a strange extra mode. But yeah. Again, good game. Not my favorite, not even close, but it's like middle of the road. I would say this is probably almost exactly in the center of the list, so yeah. Not a bad game for sure, but can't say that it's my favorite in the world. It's just fine. Not a bad one. Okay. Wow. That was the last of the non-direct remake Classicvanias. Dracula X Chronicles I may do someday, but definitely not right away. Since that is just Rondo of Blood. Just Rondo of Blood, but with a new graphical style. And I think there's a new final boss phase. But yeah. Haunted Castle as well, but I'm gonna wait quite a while for that one. I want to play that one alongside the DS Metroidvanias someday, since that's in the Dominus collection. I was originally considering also saving Dracula X for the advanced game since that's in that collection. But I kind of wanted to compare it to Rondo of Blood, so yeah. Overall, good game. Not my favorite, but not a bad one. It's a fun stream though. Since I'm done with all of the 2D classic manias, I guess the next Castlevania game will finally be Castlevania 64. I know KD was asking me about that one like nearly a month ago, near the beginning, and yeah, I guess the next one will be that one. Yeah, that's it. Next stream though, most likely won't be Castlevania 64 though. Probably on Wednesday it will most likely be Warriors All Stars again. Very very close to being done with that. So have exactly 2 weeks to get it done. So yeah, I'm gonna go work on some coding stuff now that stream is done. But have a nice day, everyone. Have fun with your MMO grinding, Ellie, by the way. But yeah. Goodbye. Have a very nice day.